You know that slow motion cheese pull on your digital menu? It's a great marketing asset, but it's also an operational liability. Today, we're going to get real about the hidden cost of menu animation and the direct conflict between how your menu looks and how fast it works. So let's just ask the big question right up front. Is that beautiful, expensive menu of yours actually costing you orders? Is your investment in dynamic content slowing down your line and just leaking revenue? For most operators, the answer is a hard yes. We're about to break down exactly how this operational failure happens. The failure really begins with two teams wanting completely different things. You've got marketing, and they want sizzle. They want to build the brand. And then you have operations, and they just need speed. They need to move the line. When the menu design prioritizes that sizzle over speed, throughput tanks. And guess who pays the price? Yep, operations, every single time. I want you to think about it like this. Instagram is for browsing. Your menu board is for buying. It's a really simple idea, but it's absolutely critical. On social media, people are just scrolling. They have pretty much zero purchase intent. But in your queue, that is a transactional environment. Everyone in that line has 100% purchase intent. Your menu board has to function as a sales tool, not a content feed. And confusing the two is a very, very costly error. This all comes down to a concept called attention economics, and it's actually pretty simple. A customer's attention is a finite resource, right? You only have so much of it. When that attention is spent watching a flashy animation, their brain is not being used to make a decision. And let's be clear, the decision-making is the part that generates revenue. So that action gets delayed until after the animation is over. All that idle time, that is a direct hit to your efficiency. So, the symptoms of this operational drag, well, they're visible in just about every queue. Here's how you can diagnose the problem in your own locations. Just watch your customers. Seriously, are they asking, where's the price for an item that's currently hidden by an animation? Do you see those long, awkward pauses at the register? Are they just defaulting to their safe order because your menu is too complex to navigate quickly? And here's the big one. Is your staff forced to act as a human directory for your menu, constantly pointing at the screen? These aren't customer problems. They are flashing red lights of a menu design failure. Okay, here is a simple, actionable diagnostic you can do. It's called the 3-second test. Can a brand new customer find these 3 things in under 3 seconds? 1, a product category, which is how they get their bearings. 2, the price of a popular item, that's a core piece of transactional data. And 3, a seasonal item, which is your key to upselling. If they can't find all 3 of those almost instantly, your menu is creating friction. It's slowing down the transaction, and it's actively preventing upsells. Your animation is obstructing commerce, period. Now, the solution isn't just to get rid of all animation. It's about imposing a strict information hierarchy. It just means that substance must always have priority over sizzle. This hierarchy is simple. Think of it in 3 tiers. Tier 1 is your non-negotiable data, item names and prices. This info has to be static and always visible, no exceptions. Tier 2, things like modifiers or calories, well, that can rotate if you really need it to. And Tier 3 is all your promotional content, the hero shots and the LTOs. The critical rule is this: Tier 3 can never, ever interfere with the visibility of Tier 1. You know, the most common operational mistake out there is allowing that Tier 3 promotional content to completely obscure your Tier 1 transactional data. When a customer has to literally wait for a video to end just to find a price, you're manufacturing order hesitation. You're just slowing down your own line. This is a self-inflicted wound to throughput. So the fix is a clear framework for balancing these priorities. It's called the 70-30 design rule. And the rule is all about a division of real estate. 70% of your screen space is dedicated to static utility. That's the full menu and pricing. It's the functional part of the tool. The other 30% is reserved for dynamic promotion. This framework allows marketing to do its job without disrupting operations. A really common way to put this into practice is the side panel model. The main area of the screen is just a static menu. Then, a smaller, dedicated side panel cycles through all your promotions. This way, the customer's main task is never interrupted. The top/bottom split is another super effective layout. The static menu takes up the top 70% of the screen, and then a promotional banner just runs along the bottom 30%. Both of these models create predictability. They actually train the customer where to look for core info versus marketing messages, and that's what helps them make a decision faster. But look, a strategy is pretty much useless without consistent execution across all your locations and all your day parts. So the next logical step has to be automation. This is where your tooling becomes absolutely critical. A platform like SeenLabs, for example, is built to enforce this kind of strategy. Its zone-based layouts can literally lock in that 70-30 rule. Animation scheduling can automatically disable promotional content during peak hours, like the lunch rush, just to maximize throughput. It uses technology to make sure the operational strategy is actually being followed. So, the final analysis is crystal clear. Animation isn't the enemy here, but animation without a strategy that prioritizes the transaction, it's just expensive decoration. It's a capital expense that actively works against generating revenue. So I want you to take another look at your menu boards. Are they a tool for sales, or are they just a beautiful distraction? Because the answer to that question directly impacts your revenue every single hour of every single day.